Hello. This week's episode is the new exhibit, which is all about a wax museum and some murderous figures. And it stars Martin Balcom, who would have been 101 if he was still alive. And he starred in 2 episodes, this one and the 16mm Shrine, and then comes back in the 80s and stars in another 2. So 4 episodes in total, but in 2 different takes of this series. This episode has my favorite special effect. I've mentioned it before. It's standing still. They mix standing still with some freeze frames. So whenever they go wide, for instance, they have someone like that. But you can, if you look in the silhouette, you can see people blinking, for instance. You can see hands moving. That sort of stuff. And then when they get to extreme close-ups, they have a freeze frame instead. They mix it, and it works out kind of well. You can always tell the freeze frames though, but that's how you're gonna have to run it. So they have a wax figure of Jack the Ripper. Now this is problematic because of course no one knows who Jack the Ripper actually was. We don't know what he looked like. It could have been more than one person. There's a lot of that stuff. So giving him a face is a bit weird, I think. I don't particularly like it. Of course, those of us who have watched Babylon 5 knows exactly what he looks like, and that his name wasn't actually Jack. Now, Murderous Row doesn't have an apostrophe. I would have liked an apostrophe on Murderous Row on the sign, but there we are. And Ron talks about mass murderers. These are serial killers, not mass murderers. So mass murder is when you kill a lot of people at the same time. And serial killer is when you kill one or more people at several discrete points in time. In total, these people have 35 to 40-ish kills between them. The last person who was ever convicted of piracy is in here. The 2 brothers killed a bunch. Henri killed a whole bunch. And of course, Jack, there's the canonical 5, and then you can add on more depending on how loose you want to be with the interpretation. When Emma gets killed by Jack with the knife, there's no blood pool. If she was fatally stabbed in the neck, for instance, there would have been a substantial blood pool, but there's none. He just sort of noticed something on her neck. That doesn't track all that well, to be honest. When Emma's brother calls on him, he does this fantastic turning, and just doesn't know where he's supposed to go. Like, should he open the door? Should he not? And he's like turning and turning and turning. That's exactly what people would do. And I thought that Martin captured it really quite well. And finally, a figure moves. Henri gets the noose. We don't get to see the full murder, but he gets to move. And there's no Dutch angle on the final shot to indicate that he is actually imagining this. This is probably quite real. And there's no still on the final shot either. He's just sort of standing there with his mop. Next episode is often I think of Cliffordville. And it's weird. I do remember this episode. It's been many, many years since I saw it, but I do have a recollection of it. And it's a kind of weird episode. And I look forward to sharing it with you next week. Take care now.